I low key concur with that. Y'all gotta do better out here, fellas.
I think that um, the the thinking about this, the conversation about this is really shallow. We are focusing in on people who do not make up the majority of people on government assistance. We have over a third of our population, our entire population in this country, that depend on this, that cannot work. There is no other option for them other than government assistance. And we're cutting them off because you're mad at people getting seafood at the grocery store. There should be rules in place to stop these things. I agree with Willie, even. If you on government assistance, you should not be having no more babies. Because, I mean, unless you're a family, because they didn't say don't have the fathers in the home. I heard that before. They said do not have unwed fathers in the home, single fathers in the home. They didn't want them in there, but families, gladly, if you met the requirements. So I think people pick the talking points that social media puts out there. Nobody ever does any type of reading or research. They don't they don't think about the long-term effects. They don't think about the bigger picture of government assistance. I think that we'll do well. One, I disagree with Willie on the socialist thing. Socialist countries are some of the most successful ones. So, but I don't think that the United States is at a point where they would accept it because they won't even tax the rich. So we can't have socialist programs because we can't afford it because we, as the 90%, cannot afford to support everyone. It's going to take taxing the rich to do it. But you all want to focus on who's getting seafood in the grocery store and not these rich people going to buy yachts with y'all money that they're not paying y'all. I can't understand how y'all are letting the 1% and the 10% get away with murder, literally, and you all are mad at baby mamas over here enjoying
No, we
a
mad
night
at
of
them too.
passion.
We're
Like
educated on that, and
I don't know
we're
why
mad
you're
at them
doing that
too.
because I
We're
didn't
fixing
interrupt
to at the
anyone. I
same
really
time.
waited on
Hold on,
Lakeisha
Ish. Hold
to
on, Ish.
talk.
Hold on.
I don't know why we have to speak while I'm speaking because I didn't do that. But I want you all to focus on the task at hand. The people literally getting away with using the most government assistance is the 10% and especially the 1%. Especially the 1%. But some kind of way we got to focus on baby mamas. Y'all, the goal is to get the entire country stable, and that is going to take taxing the rich.
To Jr., if you don't mind, can I put like do have like Mont said 2 points of clarification? One, rich people pay more. The top 10% pay more taxes than the bottom 90%. If you look at it dollar for dollar, and then two, another thing is that you said about we're talking about baby mamas. That's not what this is about, and it's not. We're not talking. I'm not when I say this. I'm not just talking about black women. I'm talking about women on government assistance of all shades: pink, white, purple, green, polka dot, and brown. Everybody in between. This applies to. Now, in our community, we champion it. We're the community that makes it's sexy. It's cool to have food stamps. It's that ratchet culture that we embrace. But again, our culture does tend to embrace a lot of the degenerate things that about our society, and we champion those things. For one reason or another. But for us to saying we're not focused on the baby mamas, we're focused on the fact that the people on Section 8 are not trying to do better for themselves because they're already doing they're already getting by. So there is no incentive for them to get off because if they got off, it will require them to work to do better. And nobody is willing. No, the majority of these people, not going to say all, do not want to get better or do better for themselves.
So
Well, I
answer.
wasn't disagreeing with most of what you said, Willie. I don't disagree with that. Like dollar for dollar, sure, but they have a lower tax rate than we do. Is what I'm saying.
Wait,
They could be
question.
paying more.
So question, right? So I'm in the 52, 57% tax bracket. for earned income.
Mhm.
How do I have a lower tax obligation than you do? Or not you, but someone who is in a lower
Well,
tax bracket.
I'm really talking about the 1%. That's why I kept saying especially the 1%. I'm talking about
They're the same.
those people.
Once you cross 250, it's 52, 57%. It's standard. It's not like
But they just
250 to
gave
a million
them.
to 10 million. Now they do get tax breaks because most of these people own businesses. So
Mhm,
and they do get breaks for those things, right? But that's
mhm,
part of owning a business that anybody can do. So it's not because they're rich, it's because of how they've gotten rich that they have these abilities. I mean, they have these brackets. I mean,
mhm.
excuse me, they have these tax breaks. The thing is, again, being a being in the stratosphere of those earners,
Mhm.
my tax obligation is going to be higher than yours if you only make $246,000 because you'll pay a lower tax because you're not in the top tax bracket yet. Or if you're only making $100,000, you're going to be at the 18% or whatever that is. So
Mhm.
the more money you make as earned income, you pay the most in taxes. The thing is, wealthy people didn't get wealthy by earning income. So the
Right,
income they do earn is non-taxable.
right.
So nope, that's it. Yeah, bro, that's my fire alarm. I already said that twice.
I got you.
That's the 11th panel member right by now, bro. My smoke alarm been going
Yeah,
off for
you know
like
what?
5 months.
You know what I think is interesting. Like,
Hold on, y'all. We
sorry,
gotta
I'm
get Shanice in
sorry.
that,
My
man.
turn. Oh, go ahead.
Gotta get Shanice in there. And I know Aisha probably like she want to respond too. I can see the smoke.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Aisha a question because off of what she said. Um, hey Aisha, hey girl, how you doing? I have a question. Um, what else? Because you said that the taxpayers pay for the bit of government assistance. What else do your taxes pay for?
I know that we funded an unnecessary war. I know everything that our tax dollars go for. That's why I said when Bo made that comment and she was like, but you're not talking about this and we're not talking about that. We're talking about everything as a whole that our money is wasted on.
Right.
Right? So
I'm
people are out there stomping in the streets for everything. It's a lot of agendas that's on a board that I don't agree with. It just happens to be one of those things. A lot of things can be true at the same time, right? I just used an example that I thought was funny that happened to me the other day, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that they spend our money on, and that's why we have to have lobbyists that go in and speak on our behalf to take care of these things. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about our Black community as a whole, I think that it's a crutch, right? And fools, and it has been. I think that they just like mass incarceration. I think that the system has to be rebuilt. It's not a smart system, especially if you can have lifers. Like, how is that bettering us as a people? For people, not and like Bo mentioned, you have people that need it. You have people that have disabilities. You have elderly people. You have retired people that can't work. That makes sense, right? But people that are just not wanting to do better, not wanting to help themselves, and are using food stamps as that's just a part of it's literally their income at this point.
right, but you
You
still
know what I
answer.
mean? So I see both sides, but for me, I think that it's something that I'm not betting an eye at it. Like,
Yeah,
and I
I,
know
I
people
I I
who
feel
are
you.
on it.
I feel you, but you still ain't answer my question.
What did you say?
I said, what else your tax dollars
And I
pay
gave you an example. I said we funding a war over there. That they fighting about. Our tax dollars go to a million things. I mean, you can Google it. We funding wars where what were they just talking about? We were just fighting about online the other day. That our money was going to. Our money goes to a lot. I think our money might be funding ICE. You know what I'm saying? Our tax dollars go to a number of things that a lot of people don't agree with.